Hi, who else is here from TikTok?
Hey y'all!
We're from Texas. Thank you for welcoming us to the app.
We do not trust TikTok will ever embrace American values.
With TikTok's future hanging by a thread, a huge surge of users are flooding a surprise alternative.
This is so much better than TikTok.
RedNote, the English name for Xiaohongshu, meaning Little Red Book, drawing comparisons to a collection of Mao Zedong's quotes, small enough to carry around. RedNote is a Chinese Communist government-monitored social media platform, now topping Apple's U.S. App Store.
Welcome, TikTok refugees. RedNote is not Instagram.
Many say they came here out of spite.
I refuse to support Facebook, Meta, especially Elon Musk and X.
And they're making unexpected cross-cultural connections.
Hey there, fellow TikTok refugee here, and I just wanted to say I have no idea how to speak Chinese.
Today I would like to teach you some Chinese.
Some users searching for international romance or the perfect Chinese name.
Let me help you to pick one that suits you.
One post even recreates famous Chinese and Russian propaganda posters. Just days ago, this may have seemed unthinkable.
I was scared that TikTok was going to go away, so I wanted to find an alternative.
Heather Roberts from Texas says TikTok refugees like her are desperate to find a new platform, a new social media fix.
I haven't been on RedNote for very long. I've only been on there for maybe 3 days, and I found myself like, wow, this is very addicting. I'd probably say it's a little bit more addicting than TikTok.
An addicting algorithm. Exactly what app developers want. Experts say there are risks when it comes to the rise of another Chinese app. Just like TikTok, RedNote collects huge amounts of user data. China's laws require companies to share that data with the government, but only if requested. Heavy censorship is already affecting American users, some getting their first taste of China's tightly controlled internet. Users say posts on topics deemed sensitive by Chinese authorities are being deleted, including LGBTQ+ issues and even a popular Japanese anime. Other posts face backlash, flooded with negative or offensive comments. Some new users report racist questions, including whether it's okay to use the N-word. Let's say that TikTok goes away and a lot of Americans flood into these Chinese apps. Is that a win for Beijing?
I think it really depends on Beijing's view on how much they need to be in control of the narrative.
As the U.S. Supreme Court and incoming Trump administration debate TikTok's fate, the rise of RedNote raises new questions and concerns about Americans embracing yet another platform under Chinese government control. Will Ripley, CNN, Taipei.
The Supreme Court expected to release its latest opinions, including one that might determine the fate of one of America's favorite apps.
The president is now on TikTok.
It's my honor. Hello, everybody. I'm having a lot of fun here. Yo, I'm scared. I'm gonna save TikTok.
Without intervention from the nation's highest court, the ban on TikTok should go into effect on Sunday, though it does seem that one of Joe Biden's last acts as president may be to punt on the issue. The Associated Press reporting Biden will not enforce the ban, and a White House official telling CNN Biden also won't use his authority to issue a 90-day stay that's part of the law. The decision will be left to his successor. And sources close to President-elect Donald Trump say he's considering granting an extension. Here was Trump's incoming national security advisor, Mike Waltz.
We will put measures in place to keep TikTok from going dark. In the legislation allows for an extension as long as a viable deal is on the table. And then, essentially that buys President Trump time to keep TikTok going.
If Trump can buy time, who can buy TikTok? The first possibility, one of Trump's closest allies. The Wall Street Journal reports this, quote, Chinese officials have internally discussed options, including the possibility of allowing a trusted non-Chinese party, such as Elon Musk, to invest in or take control of TikTok's U.S. operations, people familiar with the discussions said. As the world's richest man, Musk could easily afford TikTok's price tag, which Forbes reports would be in the $40 to $50 billion range. That is how much Musk paid for Twitter in 2022. Last year, Musk came out against a TikTok ban. He wrote this, quote, "In my opinion, TikTok should not be banned in the USA, even though such a ban may benefit the X platform. Doing so would be contrary to freedom of speech and expression. It is not what America stands for," end quote. Musk has not commented on the Wall Street Journal report, and a representative for TikTok's owner, ByteDance, told the paper that it was, quote, "pure fiction." So could there be another billionaire Trump ally out there who might be interested?
Hey, Mr. Wonderful here. Everybody's asking me, why do you want to save TikTok? Because it's good for American business, that's why. My companies use it. It's the best way right now to acquire customers. So we don't want to turn it off. We don't want it to go dark. We can make it even better. As I like to say, let's make TikTok wonderful again.
Joining us to discuss, Mark Preston, CNN senior political analyst, Alex Thompson, CNN political analyst, national political reporter for Axios, Kate Bedingfield, CNN political commentator and a former communications director for the Biden White House, and Brad Todd, CNN political commentator and a Republican strategist. Welcome to all of you. Thank you so much for being here. I kind of want to underscore how we got here and why this is such a flip-flop. Like, let's watch what Donald Trump said. This is him going back and forth, because if you'll remember, this whole thing was actually originally his idea. Watch.
We're looking at TikTok. We may be banning TikTok. We may be doing some other things. It'll either be closed up or they'll sell it. So we'll either close up TikTok in this country for security reasons. I'm going to save TikTok. Biden wants to get rid of TikTok. You know why? Because he has no idea. I'm now a big star on TikTok. I have a warm spot in my heart for TikTok because I won youth by 34 points.
I think that's a big, a big credit to TikTok. So I'm not opposed to TikTok.
Brad Todd, how did we get here?
Well, Donald Trump is a creature of pop culture, and nothing is more pop culture than TikTok. And I think he's also attracted.
But that was true in 2020, and
it is true. It is true, but it's still a villain on the right, and so he is torn between this desire to please the right, which definitely sees TikTok as a legitimate national security risk and villain, and something that's cool. And I think he's also a little bit attracted to the fact that it's an outcast among social media platforms. It's the black sheep. It may be the only platform he's not been banned or suspended on, too, for that matter. That he may like that about it. I do think in the end, Republicans on Capitol Hill still have great concerns. We don't let government devices use TikTok for a reason. It's because the Chinese Communist Party sucks in all the data and does who knows what with it. So I think that Donald Trump has a tough road with Republicans in Congress on this.
And I'll just add to that, a lot of the people that Trump has appointed are China hawks, people that have in the past previously, spoken out against TikTok, and there's going to be an internal divide within this incoming administration about what to do about the app.
Let's watch what Mark Warner, who's of course he's the outgoing Senate chairman of the Intelligence Committee, had to say about this. Take a look.
I don't get it. 80% of the Congress, Democrats and Republicans, agreed that TikTok is a huge national security concern. And the irony in all this was Donald Trump was the first guy to point out this problem. Matter of fact, his administration had to convince me.
Well, and Kate Bedingfield, now also the Biden team seems to be willing to go along with letting Trump do what he wants to do about this.
Well, I think the Biden team is saying we're out of here on Sunday, and this is now your problem. Right. I mean, I don't think they're making a statement of policy so much as saying this is a thorny issue, and guess what? When you become president of the United States, this is your problem. But I have to think, unfortunately, the Chinese government is probably salivating watching our government fall all over itself to try to walk back this policy that 80% of Congress thought was necessary. And by the way, the data concerns and the concerns about the Chinese government having influence over the algorithm that is determining what young people across this country are seeing, those concerns are still there. There's the political issue that Donald Trump believes that TikTok helped him win the election, and it probably did. But should that override the concern about giving the Chinese government undue influence on the minds of kids all over the country? I would argue it should not, but that's where we are.
We agree.
We do.
But I'm confused. So I'm confused that Marco Rubio is somebody who was supposed to be carrying on the policy of Donald Trump over the next 4 years as his Secretary of State, yet he's against TikTok. Donald Trump is for TikTok. We know Donald Trump gets what he wants. The head of TikTok's going to sit in a seat of distinguished whatever on the dais on Monday. I'm confused. Why is it? I guess I'm confused with Republicans. Why is it okay to not have it on government devices, but it's okay to put it on our children's devices? I don't understand.
I think most Republican policymakers would agree with the view that we should not have it on either government devices or on our kids' devices. And I think in the end, TikTok's in trouble in the United States over this. The policymakers are not going to drop their concerns. If they get a 90-day reprieve here, this is not the end of the story.